Are you thinking about going green with solar panels for your next home? My name is Kyle O'Donnell with eXp Realty here in the greater Northwest Houston area. Today we're going to talk about solar panels, some of the pros and the cons, some potential drawbacks and some upsides, as well as talking about buying a home with solar panels and selling a home with solar panels and some things that may arise during the real estate transaction. Now, as a disclaimer, this video is for informational purposes only. It's recommended that you consult with your legal representative or financial advisor before making a decision when it comes to solar panels. Now, to start off, we're going to talk about a few pros and a few cons about solar panels in general. So let's start off with the pros. Now, the first pro is reduced electricity bills. And this seems to be the biggest one for most advocates of solar panels. Now, solar panels generate electricity, reducing your reliance on the power grid and lowering your energy costs. Now, this is a huge bonus, especially for us here in Houston during these hot summer months when we need to crank that AC. Having that solar panels on your home can be a benefit in reducing those energy costs, especially here in the summer. Now, the second pro for solar panels are the environmental impacts that come with having solar panels on your home. Now, solar energy can be seen as a clean, renewable resource that reduces your carbon footprint. So if you're looking to make your home more green or eco-friendly, having solar panels can be a great addition to your home. Now, the third pro are the tax incentives and subsidies that come with solar panels. Now, there are many governments that offer tax incentives and subsidies to encourage solar panel installation, and those subsidies can help with the initial cost. Programs such as net metering and property tax exemptions for those with solar panels on their home can really help the owner save some money when they're going solar. Another pro for solar panels is its potential for off-grid living. Now, with a battery storage system, solar panels can provide access to electricity for those in rural or remote areas that may not have access on a traditional power grid. So if you're living in a rural area or an area prone to blackouts, solar energy could be a great option to having electricity without relying on a traditional power grid. So now that we've talked about some of the pros of solar panels, let's go into some of the cons. Now, the first one's going to be the high system costs that come with purchasing solar panels. Now, the system cost of purchasing and installing solar panels can be significant, even with those tax incentives and subsidies that we talked about previously. Solar panels can be in the tens of thousands of dollars, and if you're financing those panels over time, you're typically looking at a 15 to 30-year loan, and we're not even calculating the interest on that. So this does become a pretty hefty investment once you purchase those solar panels. Now, the second con to solar panels comes with the aesthetics of the panels themselves. Now, some people find the appearance of solar panels unattractive, and in certain communities, this could be a concern and even a restriction amongst homeowners associations. Now, these concerns can also be a detriment when it comes time to selling your home. Now, it's highly recommended that you check with your HOA on the community regulations and restrictions of the neighborhood before installing solar panels on your home. Now, a third downside to solar panels is its long payback period. Now, depending on your energy use, location, and incentives, it could take several years for you to recoup your initial investment on your solar panel. Now, the horizon of when you're going to recoup your investment on your solar panels depends on how long you intend to live in your home and how long you're going to reap the benefits of owning those solar panels. So if you plan on living in the home for 5 to 7 years, or if this is your forever home that you plan on living in for 20 to 30 more years, understanding your horizon on when you're going to recoup this investment is key. So the last con that we're going to talk about in this video for solar panels is potential roof damage that comes with the installation of the panels themselves. So if not installed properly, solar panels could cause damage to your roof, leading to leaks and other structural damages to your home. Because of this, it's always recommended that you have a professional solar panel installation company do the work for you to ensure that it's done properly. So now that we've talked about just some general pros and cons to solar panels themselves, let's talk specifically about how solar panels can affect the purchase or sale of your home when it comes to a real estate transaction. So first, let's talk about a few things that you need to be aware of when it comes to buying a home with solar panels. So if you're buying a home with solar panels, it could potentially affect your ability to qualify for a mortgage and potentially increase your insurance premiums on your homeowner's insurance. So if you're purchasing a home with solar panels that have an assumable loan, this could potentially throw off your debt to income ratio when it comes to qualifying for a mortgage. So adding additional debt by taking on another loan for the solar panels could disqualify you from getting a mortgage on the home. So it's definitely recommended that you talk to your mortgage loan officer prior to submitting an offer on the home. So having solar panels on the home may also increase your homeowner's insurance premiums, and you may have to have separate policies altogether when it comes to the insurance on homes with solar panels. If you have ground mounted solar panels that are not attached to the home, this may create a separate insurance policy that needs to go into place for the panels themselves. So it's highly recommended that you contact your insurance provider to get more information on coverage and premiums prior to submitting an offer on a home with solar panels. You may need a home inspector that specializes in homes with solar panels, or you may need a separate solar inspector altogether to take a look at those solar panels when it comes time to do your home inspection. So many typical third-party home inspectors may tell you as a buyer that solar panel systems are outside of the scope of a residential home inspection, meaning that you may need to look for a specific solar inspector to inspect the panels for you. Now, because of this, having a solar panel inspector come out to inspect the panels during your option period may be a wise option on top of getting a home inspection. Now, another thing to consider when buying a home with solar panels is that future roof repairs may require the solar panels to be removed as well. So with that being said, if there are repairs that need to be made to your roof or a full roof replacement, you're gonna also need to call a solar panel installation company to come remove the panels so that the roofer could do the repairs, and then once the repairs are done, reinstall the panels back onto the home. Something that should be understood is that the cost of removing the panels, making the repairs, and then reinstalling the panels can be costly, and it could leave you without energy to your home while the panels are disconnected. So with this in mind, homes where solar panels were installed around the same time as the roof could be beneficial, but ultimately it's important to contact your preferred roofing specialist for further evaluation prior to purchasing a home. Let's talk about a few things to look out for when selling a home with solar panels and how this can affect a real estate transaction. So the first thing to note is that homes with solar panels could potentially decrease your pool of interested buyers in your home. So just like some home buyers may not want private pools for their next home, solar panels can deter some of those prospective home buyers that may not be supporters of solar panels. Now, buyer aversion to solar panels can be due to many reasons, ranging from aesthetics to just being opposed to solar energy altogether. But it's important to understand that having a home with solar panels can potentially decrease your pool of home buyers. Now, the buyer's pool may shrink even more if the new homeowner needs to take on the remaining balance of your solar loan in order to purchase the home. Now, some of this we discussed in the what to look out for as a buyer of a home with solar panels, but essentially if you have a $200,000 home and you have $20,000 in solar panel loans that you need the new buyer to take on, now they're essentially purchasing a $200,000 home for $220,000. So that's something to keep in mind, and a potential roadblock that could come up when selling a home with solar panels, especially a home with solar panels that the loan needs to be assumed by the new buyer. Another thing to consider when selling a home with solar panels is that some solar loans may require a complete loan payoff when selling your home, and solar panels could potentially create title issues throughout the real estate transaction process. So some solar panel providers may not allow the new homeowner to assume the remainder of your solar panel loan, which means that prior to closing on the sale of your home, you'll need to pay off the remainder of that loan balance before the home sale finalizes. So before putting your home on the market, it may be wise to contact your solar panel provider and maybe get with your attorney as well to discuss some of the terms and conditions of your contract and have a good understanding of what all goes into your solar panel contract prior to putting your home on the market. Now, additionally, solar panel providers may issue what's called a Uniform Commercial Code or UCC lien on their property for those that are leasing or financing solar panels. Now, this could cause significant confusion and delays in the title and lending process of the real estate transaction if not understood correctly. Since real estate brokers cannot give legal advice and solar panel loans are outside of our scope of expertise, it's recommended that you consult with your attorney on the actionable steps to take when it comes to your solar panels and your solar panel loan. Now, the process of transferring the solar panel access between the seller to the buyer can be a challenge depending on the solar panel provider. Now, some of these companies may have difficult customer service issues. They may require seller authorization for real estate agents, title companies, lenders, the new buyer to get certain information regarding the solar panels. And in some instances, the solar panel company may be out of business altogether. So with that in mind, these difficult customer service issues and potential lack of communication can really cause a detriment to the real estate transaction, especially a transaction that has so many time-sensitive items to it. If the solar providers are not communicating properly or not following on the certain schedule, this could completely throw off the sale of your home. So those were just a few of the pros and cons of homes with solar panels and some of the things to keep in mind when buying or selling a home with solar panels. I hope you found this video helpful. In my experience helping people buy and sell homes with solar panels, it does add another step to the transaction process, but it's definitely not impossible. If you had any questions about solar panels, how they affect a real estate transaction, or just other questions about real estate in general, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you however I can.